Hello, everybody. Today is another magnificent day. Today is our second video about the Israel and Israel war. Uh, to be honest with you, before I read the Balfour Declaration, just I wanted to tell you about the Israel, about something about the Israel. Israel was declaration of independence in Israel in 1945. It happens, and within 11 minutes it happens. Uh, United States has decided to accept as a state of Israel as a country. So if you think about my country is in Sri Lanka, so if you think about the connection and the relationships, international relationships in between Israel and Sri Lanka, it's overwhelming because in Sri Lankan, more than 9,000 Sri Lankans working in Israel, and they are getting highly paid jobs like healthcare workers, nurses, and caregivers, some hospital staffs like that, such like that, and also regarding the Israel war, what has happened in Israel war, I would like to say Hamas is a terrorist organization, and also Israel has a right. Israel has a rights to defend itself in every way, no matter whatever it takes. So, if you think about the Islam, early history of Islam, actually Prophet Muhammad Rasulullah alaihi wasallam, he was the last prophet in Islam, and but there are some clerics, Muslim leagues, and Muslim brotherhoods. I'm sorry. So these kind of uh, proliferation and these kind of political movements, right wing and the socialist political parties take the Islam as a weapon. Actually, Islam is a religion; it's not a weapon, right? If any texture or any book, something which he says uh, against against to the non-believers, to kill the non-believers, to kill the children, to rape the women, to take them into the hostages, and it's this kind of massacres. It's not Islam. Islam never says about it. Islam is the religion of peace, right? So even though there are some Muslims doing the bad things, the religion has nothing to do with that. Any religion, even even Islam, Buddhism, Judaism, and also any other religion, Hinduism and Christianity, uh, also Catholicism as well, Zionism, and this all. And last Saturday morning, we got the horrific attack into the soil of Israel, the soil of Holy Land. Israel is a Holy Land. It's a uh, you can say it's a promised land if you read the Bible and the Old Testament as well as the New Testament. Uh, the Jews, Israel, the Jesus Christ, he called the Jews as the children of Israel, my people. Why? Because he's a Jew. He's a Jew. So Judaism is one of the great religion in the world. So one of the oldest religion in the world. I believe that Israel has nothing to worry about it. It has all rights to defend itself. That's number one. If you think about the Islam, there are two clusters in Islam. First is the Shia Muslims. Second is the Sunni Muslim. The Jihad, as well as the Hamas, the terrorist organization that they call the radical Islamist and the extremist Islamist group, they were funded by the Qatar and also by some of them by Iran and also Turkey, from Turkey. So they funded by the Turkey. So I do not know. It will drag into another world war, into another world, third world war. It will drag. We do not know. So let's first of all, I would like to say, let's stand with Israel. I stand with Israel. That's number one. But I am not against the Muslim. I am standing with Israel because of this kind of the barbarism and the hateism, and also this kind of barbaric activities, right? This kind of activities only from the terrorist organization. These terrorist organization never follow the truth of Islam. They what they call as Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Yeah. God is great. Allah is great. Yes, of course, Allah is great. But Allah never accept to killing its His creation. We are His creation. As per Islam, we are His creation. So, do you think God will accept, and do you think God will forgive you? God will happy if you kill the innocent people? Whatever the religion, no matter which religion you are, what religion you are, right? So this is how it goes. And let me read the Declaration of Balfour Declaration. This is the statement, dominions by the British Empire, Balfour Declaration of 1926. From that only, this Jewish state of Israel has begun, right? Actually, the Balfour Declaration, it says, let me read you this thing. This is November 1917, November the 2nd, Foreign Office at the Home Office. Dear Lord Rochester is a Rothschild. Rothschild means he's the governor. He's the governor of British Empire at that time. I have much pleasure in conveying to you on behalf of His Majesty's government, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the cabinet. His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment of Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people. Yes, it's correct. It's a national home, and it's a temple of God. Jewish Jesus Christ went 2,000 years before. The Palestine land and the Jewish Israeli land belongs to Israel and the Jewish people. So it is been proven last few thousand years, thousands of thousand years ago, even before the Roman Empire, even before the Greek Empire, the Greek civilization, even before the Augustus Caesar, even before the Julius Caesar, even before the Roman civilization. It comes. So the Islam is the religion of peace, which is come from Muhammad Rasulullah from Saudi Arabia, peace be upon him, and also Makkah and Medina, and now what they call as the Muslims, they claim as Masjid Al-Aqsa as their own place of worship, where the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Prophet Muhammad Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from where he goes to Jannah and to paradise, he was uplifted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the Masjid al-Aqsa. That's what they claim. But before, even earlier before, thousands years before, there was a temple of mountain, temple of doom. So this is what the Israel, which is claimed, and Jewish people, Jewish settlement, has been there. Jewish, the the civilization of the Jewish people and the Jewish community. They were being tortured, they were being killed, they were being Holocaust, they were being massacred, they were being ethnic ethnic cleansing throughout the history. So now it's a time to stand up with Israel, and now it's a time to support Israel, and also bravely all of the people should understand what has happened on last Saturday. After the Holocaust, the biggest attack into on its own territory, on its own soil. So this is what has happened, and Israel is the land which is belongs to the Jewish people and the Jewish community, even before the Islam. So that's what we are saying. And also, let us read further. And Jewish people and will use their best endeavors to facilitate an achievement of of this object. It be clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice, yes, and the civil and religious rights of the existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine, or the rights of and political status enjoyed by the Jewish in any other country. Yes, exactly. And I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to know of this of the Zionist Federation, right? This is the Balfour Declaration. So this is the founding statement of Israel, right? This is the Balfour Declaration was public statement which is issued by the British government in 1917 during the First World War, announcing its support for the establishment of national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, right? And then the Ottoman region, which is small minority Jewish population. The declaration was the contained letter dated in 2nd of November, right? The United Kingdom's Foreign Secretary also Sir Arthur Balfour and the Lionel Walter Lord Baron Rothschild, leader of the British Jewish community. Yes, he's a governor, right? And this transmission of the Zionist Federation of the Great Britain and Ireland, the text of the declaration was published in the press on 2nd of November in 1970, right? Long ago, it means more than 100 years ago. So they have a right to defend themselves, and this is their land. Finish. Actually, the original letter from the Balfour to the Rothschild, the declaration reads, right? His Majesty, the government view with the favor of the establishment in the Palestine of the national home of Jewish people, and facilitates the achievement of this object, and they have a right to engage their political parties. They have even Muslims. They have a right to live in Palestine. I'm not saying Muslims should leave the Palestine or Jewish leave the Palestine. This is the problem of the Islamic fundamentalism. Actually, this is not a community problem. This is not an ethnic problem. This is a religious issue. Basically, this is a religious problem. They need the Islamic people, the Muslims. They need their Masjid al-Aqsa again back to their hand, because in 2021, since 2021, to worshipping inside the Masjid al-Aqsa, it's been banned, it's been prohibition by the Israeli military and Israeli government. So this is what has happened, and we strongly condemn the world community, all the people, even including the Jewish community and including some Muslim countries, some even though some Palestinian sympathizers, they brutally condemned this attack, right? So uh, actually, this is how it has. This is a long-term war in a state of. If you see the long history, this is a long-term war. It has been shattered in 1956 and 1967, 6 days war as well. So Israel was occupied the Gaza Strip and also West Bank and the Golan Heights as well. So let's go back to the 1914. The immediately following their declaration, War of Ottoman Empire in 1914, Israel has a war with British war cabinet began to consider the future Palestine, and within 2 months, it's a memorandum was calculated by the cabinet and Zionist cabinet member also Herbert Samuel, right? And he is proposing the support of Zionist ambition and the order in order to enlist the support of Jewish in the wider war. In the committee was established in April of 1915, and the British Prime Minister H.S. Asquith at that time, 1950s, 1915. I'm sorry, 1915, more than 108 years ago, right? Determined their policy towards the Ottoman Empire, including the Palestine. So that's how it has gone, right? So Aquis, who had favored to the first war and his reforms of the Ottoman Empire, and resigned in December 1916, I think, right? His, repla- uh, his replacement, David Lloyd George, the favor to the partition in the empire, and also the first recognitions between the British and the Zionists took place in the conference 7th of February in 1917, right? And it makes a remarkable ending that the Sir Mark Skyses, the Zionist leadership, and subsequently the discussions was led to the Balfour's request in 19th of June in 1970. I think. Yes, 1970. And after that, uh, 19th of June, yes, and also the Rothschild and the chairman, the Jim Weisman, submit the draft of public declaration. Further draft were discussed, and the British cabinet during the September and the October, in with input of the Zionist and anti-Zionist Jewish, but with no representation from the local population in Palestine. So that's how it began. So Israel, do you know now how the country has been deployed and how it was started, right? So to learn about the uh, history of Israel, the prehistory of Israel, it's another matter. So it will take some time for us to read about the Balfour Declaration, and also uh, that actually in 1917, the lead up of the Balfour Declaration, the wider war had been reached into the settlements with two Britain allies, not fully engaged, but the United States a part of it actually. If you could say in early Second World War, United States was a neutral country, but after the Pearl Harbor attack on its west coast and the east coast, they have to help to Britain uh, because of the D-Day, for the D-Day and the Battle of Britain. So there was a big problem. There was a big heavy fighting was going on at that time. I'm talking about the 1945, the Second World War, and also not even at that time. Actually, the United States has not been entered fully, right? The United States not yet to suffer casualty, and the Russians were midst. midst of the revolution and the Bolsheviks taking over the government, the statement of the southern Palestine was broken. The Battle of Beersheba Beersheba in 31st October 1917. Let's talk about it. It was my birthday. So let's talk about those battles in later videos. And the release of the final declaration and authorized in 31st of October, and the proceeding of the cabinet discussion had referenced and perceived the propaganda benefits to the Jewish community and allied force effort. Because everything they do for their benefits only. So that's how until now, until the very moment, that's how the British Empire and the British and the Western countries in favor of them and their propaganda is going on for their benefits only. This is all about the history of the Balfour Declaration. And the opening words of the declaration are represented of the first public expression and the support of the Zionism and also the major political powers. And the term national home, when you come to the national home, and no president of the presented in the international law, right? This is how it goes. I have to tell you the truth, what has happened at that time, and unprecedentedly, they have made it, and it was initially and intentionally uh, make a vacuum walk into the whether the Jewish state is contemplated and the intended boundaries of the Palestine do not were not specified. That's what they have told, right? That's how it goes. That's how the British acting, even the Kashmir, even the China Hong Kong relationships. Until now, there are so many problems. Even Sri Lankan problem of Sri Lankan civil war, 30 years bloody war, we have suffered a lot. Thousands of hundreds of thousands of casualties and dead people. We miss so many friends and we lost so many lives, right? And actually, Zionism, this actually is the they have no particular boundaries and the borders at that time. And the British government later confirmed that the words in Palestine mean that the Jewish national home was not intended to cover all the Palestine, right? Actually there is not their mistake, neither their willingness, right? It's an embarrassing thing actually to talk about these things actually, but as the history, people who made the, that's what we say in the political world. Always we have to be careful whatever the decisions you make, whatever the decisions you make, how do you make the decisions. We have to be, especially in political world, right? Especially in international politics, we have to be very very careful. So in case of something happens, so that would be embarrassing to everybody, right? That would be would be a disaster. That would be catastrophic, and it would be a result of millions of people either dead or by their lives they have to pay the price. What happened in Kashmir right now, and what happened in Vietnam before, right? What happened in Korea right now, North Korea and South Korea, and also what happened in Palestine right now. This is a disaster, right? What happened in Ukraine right now, also this kind of declaration, this kind of things, the Western political leaders, they make the bullshit things, the foolish things. Finally, uh, other other people, the poor people has to suffer poor lives, innocent lives in the future. Millions of people will be dying in the future as well. So that's why we are saying always, whenever the world leaders and the political leaders, whenever they take the decisions, especially this kind of sensitive issues, they have to be very careful, right? It may be a cause of root cause of taken the life and the cold-blooded wars, uh, and welcoming the terrorism, welcoming the barbaric actions like what has happened in last week, last Saturday, right? The second half of the declaration was satisfy the component of the policy who had claimed over the Palestine, right? And it could be otherwise prejudice the position of the local population of encourage to anti-Semitism worldwide. Right? This is stamping the Jewish as strangers on their native lands, and the declaration called the safeguarding in civil and religious rights of the Palestinian Arabs, right? And who composed the vast majority of the local population was Arabs only, actually, right? And also the rights of the political status of Jewish communities and their and other countries outside the Palestine. The British government acknowledged the 1939 the local population views should be have been taken into count, right? And also the recognized 2017 as the declaration should be have called the protection of the Palestinian Arabs and the political rights, right? And when it comes to the background, the declaration had many long-lasting consequences that greatly increased the popular support of the Zionism and the Jewish communities worldwide, and also and become a core component of the British mandate of the Palestine, and also finding the document of the mandatory Palestine, and also in it indirectly led the emergence of Israel, and it's considered the principal cause of the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and described the world's most uh, intractable conflict, right? Also, what has happened in Gaza Strip. Uh, And also, controversy remains over the member of areas, such as whether its declaration contradicted earlier promises the British made the Sheriff of Mecca and the McMahon Hussein correspondence. Early British support has happened, and British anti-Semitism was born, and there are so many things were gone viral, right? About when you talk about the British anti-Semitism, although the other factors played their part. Jonathan Sketcher says that hypothetically and stereo uh, typical thinking of the British officials that about the Jewish also played the royal decision in these issues of the declaration, right? Robert Soyle and Hugh Bloimer and Sir Mark Skykes, this all held an the unrealistic view of the world of Jewry, right? The forming and writing. I don't think it's possible to exaggerate the international power of the Jewish, right? Even though at the moment, in the House of Representatives and the Capitol Hill, also there are so many Jewish senators. So House of Representatives and senators and the governors in US politics, they're active still. So when it comes to the Jewish state of Israel, they have so many even so many powerful people behind the backups, right? And the backups they have even the House of Representatives, even the Parliament members, United States politics, uh, senators, and U.S. House of Representatives, U.S. Political members, and even Britain. They have so many powerful people. Even the Mark Zuckerberg, right? even the Bill Gates, they are Warren Buffett, they all are Jewish people. Even also you can say uh, Clinton administration, even the Clinton, Mr. Clinton, he's a Jewish person. So we have a lot of Jewish people in the world, and they are not harmful to the world. These barbaric Hadeism, barbaric uh, terrorist groups only harmful to the world. Look at Pakistan, look at Afghanistan, look at Iran, look at Iraq, look at Libya, and look at Palestine, look at Syria, look at Yemen. All those people are fighting. The facts are in front of us. So the decision is with yours. Take care, bye bye. God bless you always. May Israel hey. Bye bye.